Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and today I have a twin pack to look at, put my teeth in, a twin pack to look at, which is the Transformers Age of the Primes Wreck and Doom collection twin pack, which features Targetmaster Spinister fighting off against Jumpstarter Topspin. So it's all the spinners are together here. And again, it's beautiful packaging. I would just go, I mean, again, you can see the artwork there is already phenomenal, as one would expect from a Transformers package. We see it's Age of the Primes, Wreck and Doom collection, Spinister versus Topspin. Why did I pick this up? Glad you asked. Wouldn't have normally picked these. I'm not big on these two-pack box collections. Usually because there tends to be a really interesting figure coupled with something that's not so interesting. And I know that mileage will vary on that, because I know there's a lot of people who've wanted Spinister for ages and not so keen on Topspin, which is possibly because there's not a lot of love out there for the jump starters, which is a shame. I think I never had the jump starters growing up as a kid, and so when the Wreck and Rule collection came out, I picked up Twin Twist. I don't know why they didn't release Topspin in a two-pack with Twin Twist. That to me would have made perfect sense. We did get a couple of two-packs with weaponizers in the Wreck and Rule collection, but Twin Twist was sold individually, and it didn't really understand the sense in it, and that was 2 or 3 years ago at the time of recording. So quite why we find ourselves waiting so long to then get Topspin in his Diaclone colours to pair up finally with his brother-in-arms, I don't know. Anyway, that's enough waffling about that. Let's continue to check out the packaging. The artwork that we've seen there is sort of duplicated in an extract along the top. We have Spinister being Spinistery on this side, and if I recall, we have Topspin being Topspinny on this side. Now, of course, because Topspin is a Titan's Return, I believe, redeco, he has a Headmaster feature, which means he comes complete with his partner, who I think is called, and I'm going to get this wrong, I think he's called Freezer, or Freeze Out. No, sorry, Freeze Out. So that's an additional character within this twin pack. And because Spinister is a Targetmaster, he comes with not one, but two Targetmaster components. He comes with Hair Splitter and with Singe. Now again, back in the day, Targetmasters came in, the OG Targetmasters came in, like Headmasters and Power Masters really, just after I'd sort of moved on from collecting toys. I decided I'd become all grown up at that point in my life. How wrong I was, but I thought I had, and so I'd moved on. So I didn't collect, and also because I think I saw the likes of Hot Rod, Cyclonus, Scourge, Blur, Cup. I think they were being recycled. You know, that was sort of the OG reissuing of established figures with a minor tweak, and the minor tweak was giving them the Targetmaster companions. And as a concept, it never really appealed to me. The concept, I'm not sure, still does appeal to me, but I do like the figures, and I do like the modern engineering, which is why I picked up the likes of Scorponok and Fortress Maximus, etc., because I just think that the new versions of those are incredible. I think the old versions were too, but again, two figures I never had growing up. So, box done. Let's take a look at the figures themselves. And here we have Spinister and Topspin out of the packaging, along with Hair Splitter and Singe, who are the two Targetmasters. So there is quite a bit packed into this, and we also have Freeze Out over here in situ as Topspin's head. Why they've reimagined the Jumpstarters as Headmasters, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. And does it really matter? No, because here we are. But let's first of all take a look at the Targetmasters. So I would start by saying that the deco on these is really really jolly good. I definitely think it is really, really good. So this is Hair Splitter. I know he's Hair Splitter because he's got the single barrel in his gun mode, but he also is carrying a single barrel here. It's quite nice. Let me see if I can go in even a bit closer for us here. There we go. Because the detailing here really is good, and I think it would be a shame to not get it captured. Look at that head sculpt. That is a beautiful head sculpt with the visor and the face really pulled out nicely, catching the light there. Big strong arm there, and again, as I say, in this arm he's molded holding a rifle. Now there's no articulation in the arms, it's all molded plastic, so which won't come as a surprise, I'm sure. But I love the purple and the silver and the metallic blue. I just adore it. And following him down, you can see there he's got some nice silver boots with what look like some jetpacks there to help him fly into the air when he's recalled into form gun mode. Now he forms the gun mode very easily. That just flips out, and the next thing you know, he's a rifle, and then that pegs into Spinister's hand. So I'll leave that like that for now, and then we'll come over here. Oopsie. We'll come over here to Singe. Singe is much darker, so I'm hoping you can see him in the light to some extent. Again, another lovely face sculpt, that metallic blue really popping around that with the black helmets around there. The rest of the body, very nice shiny black. I love it. Silver gauntlets and a silver belt piece, and again with that sort of metallic teal, metallic blue used on the face is then used on the upper thighs. And then we have the big black boots. Not a lot of additional detailing, and again no articulation other than from this side you fold out his two guns like so, and then he is held there by Spinister. There is also, because of all the 5mm ports, there's also scope for them to combine like this, so you can have this sort of weapon. You can do it the other way as well. I won't go through all the permutations. Can you? I thought you could. Yes, you can. You can, but then everything bounces into bits, so we won't be doing that just right now. And you can also combine, which is what I did when I got them out of the package to see how best it would work from when we talk about it. You can also combine them with Spinister's existing handheld weapons. That is also an option for you. So sticking with Spinister for now, this is a figure that's relatively unknown to me. This isn't one of those figures that I had as a child. As I said, I wasn't big on Targetmasters, so this range and the characters of the range pretty much passed me by. But I am a fan of this mold, I have to say, and I am really a big fan of this color scheme. I don't know, and someone can tell me in the comments if this is a diaclone. I don't think it can be because of the Targetmaster element, but I could be wrong. But it strikes me that it's very diaclone-y in terms of colors. But I can't help but think that this is not a diaclone original. I think it was made specifically for the Transformers line. I could be wrong, and I look to be corrected. I really love, oh, there he goes. So that's already telling me it's not the strongest knee joint. The head sculpt is really great. I don't know if you can see, I'm hoping that you can. I'm going to try and go in a bit more there. But he has some lovely red eyes just above. They're deep seated, so it's quite hard to see them anyway, particularly hard to see them on the camera. But yeah, he has some red eyes there just above the visor. Might be easier to see there, not sure. This has prompted me to flag an issue that I have. His blades, I think they're supposed to stay still like this. They don't want to. And it does feel like there's a bit of an informal notch for them to rest in, which they do-ish, but it isn't very secure. and the slightest bit of movement does seem to send it all over the shop. So that's not ideal. Let's go down the body and look at the mechanical detailing. There is some lovely body detailing there, as you can hopefully see. Let's get it back in shot. Not too sure why it's proving to be so difficult to focus on it. The arms, just while we're looking at it, I can reassure you that all of the articulation is as you would expect. There is waist articulation, worth mentioning these days because a lot of figures seem to be throwing that away. There's some lovely inbuilt detailing on the, obviously we've got the Decepticon insignia, but on the chest there and the sort of the lower waist, the abs have got some detailing. The legs are really nice. There's the translucent, there's a translucency there which sort of screams I'm the cockpit. Now I've not transformed him yet, so I'm interested to see how this looks, because they both look like the cockpit, and I'm sure only one of them can be, so I don't know how that's going to work. I can't wait to see how that turns out. And those are his existing guns, which also form a part in his helicopter mode from what I can see on the packaging. On the reverse side, again, very nicely filled in figure. He's giving us his best Sandstorm impersonation with the over the head rotor blade there, but you know, obviously that's one of the standard Transformer bodily designs from Cybertron, so we can live with that. Legs, you can see the legs are kind of hollow, but they are nicely filled in with those panels, so I'm not going to be moaning about that. And we do have some nice ankle articulation. We do have, as I mentioned, all the articulation that you would hope to see and will want to see in this figure. So all in all, this is certainly in the first instance presenting as a figure that I'm pleased to see and do more with. So that's great. Next up, the long-awaited, as far as I'm concerned, Topspin. Now again, Topspin is a Headmaster, so we'll get this out of the way so we can pull his head off, because why wouldn't you pull his head off? And again, nice sort of, let's get there. It seems to be determined to focus on everything that's behind it rather than what's in front. There we go. So a lovely little head sculpt there, and this is freeze out. So freeze out, we just bend down the legs and rotate the head. So there's a bit more involved in this transformation. Rotate the head around, and then we get freeze out. And we do have some, so as well as the legs, we do have some very minor arm articulation as well. I won't, dwell on it too much because there's not much articulation. But again, I'm just going to come really close so you can see that head sculpt. Considering he's a little Headmaster, they've taken their time to sort of give us a nice head sculpt there. But yeah, that is freeze out. As I say, I don't know why in Titan's Return they elected to turn the Jumpstarters into Headmasters, but from my understanding, they were pretty much turning most of the characters in that series into Headmasters. So I guess that's just the way of it. So taking a look at Topspin's detailing, again, all of the ball joints on the arms. We've got all of the articulation that you would expect to see. They do feel a bit loose, and that might be because this is an old mould that's being given a new lease of life. So I'm a bit mindful about that, but we shall see. But it is, yeah, you can see his arms. They don't really want to, unless you get them up in a pose, they're not really that keen on staying put. Not the same for the legs. The legs are pretty secure. There's no falling apart there. You've got the Wrecker iteration of the Autobot symbol there. It's interesting to note that we also have the actual Autobot symbol over here on one of his wings there. So it's covering both bases, the Wrecker symbol and the standard Autobot one. Don't know if that's a deliberate design or an error. But yeah, here are his legs all filled in. His legs are quite reminiscent of Twin Twist, but then I think originally there were some very clear sharing of the molds, so that's not to be unexpected. Some nice heels disguised as thrusters, because I'm sure that's the way around. And this cockpit and those elements there make up the back. But again, everything's pretty filled in. We've got covers for where the arms need to open up and have panels. So to be perfectly honest, both of the figures, for me, here and now, I would say both of the figures are looking great. I'm looking forward to seeing what their alt modes give us. And you know, again, I'm not a supporter of or a huge fan of. I'm not anti it, but I'm not a huge fan of the Targetmaster, Headmaster gimmicks. I don't, you know, they just are. So I don't really have a very strong view either way on them. But I do love this color scheme on both of these. They really pop out for me. I think it's fantastic. Both of the figures, you can see what's happened to the blades there again. Both of the figures are, well, as you can see, they both have a couple of issues. For me, it's mainly the blades on the back of Spinister and the arm joints more than the leg joints for Topspin here. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they look like in alt mode. So I'm going to very quickly do that. So don't touch that dial. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, before we go into the alt mode, absolutely, I just need to take a moment to just get Topspin and Twin Twist together to say, here they are. So with the Jumpstarters finally reunited after all this time, it would be remiss of me not to do a very quick inclusion of the two of them together. And I think they look great. You know, I think as a pairing, I think the color schemes are very complementary, not by accident, I'm sure. So we can see that the red and the deep blue borderline purple and the grey highlights are concurrent between both of those figures, and I think that's a real win. I don't think I'm going to do them at a separate video. I just toyed with the idea for a split second just now, but I don't think I'll do them as a separate video because I think you can see everything you need to see here. If you want to see them in a separate video, let me know in the comments, but if I'll take silence as no. But you can see, I think, here how they line up, and you can also see how the mold has been shared and reused between them. Looks like the legs are almost identical, if not identical, as are the well, all of the legs, and as is the primary core base design of the torso, just with slightly different attachments, and same with the forearms, even though the upper arms have got different parts attached. So you know, that it is what it is, but they are essentially, you know, brothers in arms, so I would expect them to look pretty similar, and they were pretty similar in their original G1 iterations. So it's not a complaint, and again, they look the same but suitably different, given the popping of the different color schemes, which really works for me. Anyway, that was just a quick guest appearance from Twin Twist, and now back to your published program. And as if by magic, here we have Topspin and Spinister transformed into their alt modes. And I will say that overall the transformations are quite fun. There's some very inventive and simplistic transformations across both of them. There's some nice rotation and spinning stuff which I quite like. That makes me think that I'm actually doing something transformery if I have to try twist body parts around and spin things unexpectedly. Let's start with our Decepticon Spinister. Now I've taken the liberty of adding the Targetmasters to the side of Spinister here. The instructions don't suggest that you do that, but I'm thinking, well, if you're a Targetmaster and we're not actually attaching weapons, what is in fact the point? But that's just me showing you what I would do. I will, however, take them off in the interest of following the instructions, and you can see what he looks like in the expected robot mode. This is not tabbing in as well as it should, and I don't know what I've done wrong with that. All of this does take quite a bit of, you see, you need to keep re-tabbing it in. It doesn't like it. It doesn't seem to want to stay tabbed in. So I'm sure it's me doing something ever so slightly misaligned somewhere. Also, this side, this whole side with this leg is a very clever bit of engineering, he says, but it doesn't want to stay tabbed in like it needs to, which is unfortunate. But otherwise, I think visually this looks incredible. You've got some undercarriage here which pops down, which is always nice to have. But as a gunship, I think he looks incredible. I think it would be nice if these two were the same colour. And I know that's probably me being peculiar, but I just think from the disguise point of view, it looks, I don't know why they'd be different colours in the helicopter mode. The blades do go around quite freely, as does the rotor at the end. It's overall, it's a really nice look at this. The whole rotating chest and over the head, through the back thing it was done. It was lovely to do, really great fun. That's popped out as well. Everything's choosing to pop out now. Unbelievable. But yeah, I think it looks great. You could the legs go in opposite directions. So here's the faux, the other leg, which looks like it's going to be the canopy, that pops under there, and again, really would benefit from staying tabbed in. It does it, and then it just slides off. And I'm reluctant to put too much force on it because obviously, as we can all see, it is transparent plastic, and I don't want to risk snapping anything because I'm a coward and these things aren't cheap. Again, you can really see the detailing there. There's nothing to see really within the canopy itself because it's the folded up leg of Spinister. The arms are a bit kind of obvious where they are. The fists just sort of hang out there, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been nice if they could have at least folded in. That would have possibly have helped a little, but it wasn't to be. But yeah, I think overall it's a really nice look. I think I just about prefer the robot mode to the alt mode. We do have one insignia this side, and very, very faded on the very sort of purple on the pink doesn't really work very well. The Decepticon insignia, but then maybe that's the point. Maybe it's the whole idea is he is in disguise after all. So perhaps I shouldn't complain about something like that. Then we go on to Topspin, and again, yeah, it's a very familiar looking design. It carries forward an awful lot of the same design motifs as his mold mate Twin Twist. There's too many twins and twists and spins. I have put Freeze Out in there already. There is another gimmick, which is where you can conjoin these two blasters together and they provide a sort of seat for Freeze Out, and then you sort of plug it into the side, or you're supposed to plug it into the side and he sits there. I'm not going to do that on this model because it just doesn't make any sense. And he's got a cockpit, so right in the cockpit. You don't have to be a gunner as well. But he fits in there very nicely, and you can see him through the translucent plastic. Again, this box set should really be called Battle of the Undercarriage. That's probably a very different video. But yeah, another undercarriage drops down there. The underside, you can see some of the robot is very clearly on display, but only if you know it's a robot in the first instance. We've got the sort of double hinge compression in both the legs and the arms that gets us into this shape. And again, it's very simplistic, it's very fun, but it's also very evocative of the original. So, you know, between both of them, I can't speak to how evocative Spinister is to the original because, of course, I never had the original. But I do like the design. I think they seem to scale well together. So I think that's quite nice. I appreciate that they are enemies, but it's always nice when the two opposing factors do actually complement each other well. And I think they do it not only in size and scale, but I think they also do it nicely in the colours as well. Because this is quite a blistering array of quite potent colours. But it works really well, and I think it's a nice cohesive set. So I think that's pretty much all I can say and all I can show you for these two. As I say, I might try and get a couple more of the duo sets because they're quite fun. It's quite fun to get two. I just always, I mean, I did pick up the Alpha Trion and Orion Pax and Vector Sigma set, and that was quite fun. That was quite good. And there is a video out there for that one, so maybe I'll try and get some of the others, because there were a couple of other 2-packs I thought, oh, that's interesting, but they mostly ended up involving Optimus Prime and Megatron molds that we'd seen 1,000 times. I know I exaggerate, but you know what I'm talking about. And I kind of thought, well, do I really want to have a ton of the same sort of Megatrons and the same well, Orion Paxes, really? So, but maybe we'll see we'll see. I'll have a look. If there's deals to be had, I will see if I can track any of those deals to be had down, and maybe that'll suit. So anyway, thank you very much. It's been wonderful having you here. I hope you have managed to like the video, and certainly hope you've subscribed to the channel. I appreciate this was quite a lengthy video, but there were, in essence, 5 characters in this. Yeah, we've got Topspin, we've got Spinister, we've got we had Singe and Hair Splitter, and we had Freeze Out. So yeah, five characters in this 2-pack. We had a 2-pack that consisted of 5 characters. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Welcome to the world of the Transformers. And now it won't open. Let's try and have it open so we could see all the characters on display at once. Here we go. Just got to get it pinched right. So there we are. There's all the characters that we had in this set, and there's quite a lot. So I would say that this is value for money. I think it retailed around about 50. I think it's around about 50. So I think that's probably about right. And of course we have the sort of these 3 additional smaller characters, whether we want them or not. So yeah, let me know if you've picked this up. Let me know if you liked the set. Let me know if are there any 2-pack sets you think I should go on the lookout for. I got the ones for the Wreck and Rule, so I haven't had a look at those properly yet either. But yeah, let me know if there's any you think that would be worth me picking up. If I get the chance. Let me know in the comments down below. It's been fantastic having you here for what must be about 20-25 minutes, looking at all the various iterations of these. Stick around. I will put some photos of the various modes in the outro of the video, as per usual. And I very much hope to see you in another video in the near future. Thank you very much. I've been the Triple TC. That is the Time Traveling Toy Collector, and this has been Spinister, Topspin, and their associated head and target masters from the Wreck and Doom collection. And I very much look forward to seeing you in the future. And it just remains for me to say that things of beauty really are toys forever. Take care. Bye bye for now. Bye.